making sure that we continue the friendship without having these structured times to hang up. Like, hang up?
We're out. Oh, we're back.
What was that?
Oh, it's just something fun.
That was so cool.
Surprise some people.
Love that. Hell yeah.
Find one of the few songs that hadn't already been used on Artlist. So,
Nice.
yeah,
I like it.
it's fun. It's a little bit of
It's
folky.
super chill. This sounds
Yeah.
like something that I would hope I would write one day.
Totally. And then it ends.
That's great.
Yeah, a little stinger, bring us in.
Loved that.
Little bit of freshness, a little bit of my box peeking out of the side of the corner. So, you know, we fresh everything up, we tidy it up, and then we just loosen it a little bit.
Don't worry, guys. Don't look at Will's box.
Don't look at my
Stop
box.
looking at Will's box. Don't look at his
Jesus.
box.
I didn't give you permission to look at my box.
Dolphin, I know you're looking at his box.
Yeah. I've got Gwyneth Paltrow's head in here. Leave it, don't look in here. I think that's what happens in that movie. Welcome to the Catch Up, the only show. I'm Will.
I'm Josh.
We're here to talk to you. Well, to talk to each other, and then you can listen to us talk. That's
it.
how the podcast works.
Always has, always will.
Absolutely. What's been happening, Josh? Catch us up.
Look, not much.
I know. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, but also like a bunch, I guess.
Okay.
I went to the Harry Potter Forbidden Forest experience in Melbourne.
Yeah.
It was great. It was
cool.
very, very cool.
I did
so
see
it's
that, yeah.
yeah, there's like a forest next to a winery.
Yep.
And they just decked it out.
Yeah, cool.
Like just incredible lights. I don't know if I know there was a lot of fog machines,
Yeah.
but walking back to the car,
Yeah.
there was fog everywhere, and I couldn't
Interesting.
tell whether that was from the fog machines back in the forest and it was making
Trickling
its way
out,
to
yeah.
the car park,
Yeah.
or whether it was just really foggy at like 9:30 at night on a
Wow.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was very cool. So it really set the scene. The lights were beautiful. You
Yeah.
could see them from the highway when you were driving in.
Cool.
And yeah, they just had like speakers kind of set up everywhere. Every now and again, they would just all cut out and you would just hear like Voldemort just being like, "Bring me Harry Potter." And like all this stuff like
Melbourne.
straight from the movie.
It's not here, man.
It was very, very cool. Yeah, there was a lot of very cool little like special effects of like they'd hide black screens pretty far into the forest, and
Yep.
so you would just see what looks like an actual unicorn just walking
Wow.
through the forest between the trees and stuff.
And then did you see one on the way home? Like just running alongside the car? You're like, oh,
yeah, they
shit.
got out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, very cool. Like little experiences where they would like give you a wand and you could like cast Patronuses,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah.
You could cast a Patronus and then it would be like, a deer like running around and stuff.
Yeah, cool.
But it would be a projection on a very thin mesh net in the forest.
Yep.
So you couldn't really see it that well.
Yeah.
Like couldn't really see the net
Yeah,
very well, but
yeah.
you could see the Patronus quite well, which was very cool. So they figured out a lot of very cool effects.
Sick.
So that was a very cool experience. They had butterbeer.
Good.
Which is great. It's freaking delicious if you haven't had it.
Yeah.
We had it over in Universal Studios in Japan,
Yep.
and they had it here. It was nicer here, I will say.
Oh, wow.
Surprisingly, it was thicker. It was kind of milkier.
Yep.
Over in Universal, it was more of a soft drink, and the foam was very butterscotchy, which is what butterbeer tastes like if you haven't had butterbeer before.
Yep.
But then when you get to the rest of the drink,
But nothing.
didn't really have the butterbeer sort of strength that the foam had.
Yeah,
But
okay.
this, because it was much milkier, it had it's butterbeer all the way down, baby. So good.
Yum.
Yeah, and then they had some hot chocolates as well, which were themed to the various houses of Hogwarts. So you could get the Hogwarts, which was just straight like normal hot chocolate.
That's the way
And then-
the Gryffindors live. Straight boring nothingness.
That's right. Well,
That's me, baby.
Gryffindor's one was crap.
Just give you a hug.
It was orange.
Oh,
So
interesting.
because their color is kind of orangey red,
Yep.
so it was more like a Jaffa.
Oh, nice.
That was quite good. And then you had Mint, which was Slytherin.
And it poisoned you and stabbed you with a knife.
There was Hufflepuff, which is yellow, so they were caramel. And whatever the other one is was vanilla.
Ravenclaw was vanilla. Oh,
Ravenclaw.
interesting. Yeah, wow.
Vanilla hot chocolate. So we got orange. So I got orange because I love like Jaffa. I was going to go for the mint, but I went with Jaffa. It was a little more interesting. And there's a lot of mint choc out there.
That's
and
true.
I get a lot. So I went for the Jaffa.
Yeah.
And Max got the caramel one, and it was amazing.
Yeah, cool.
It was really, really nice. The caramel one was better. I will say better than the Jaffa. The Jaffa was subtle, subtle orange.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good, very cool experience.
Yeah, cool. That's very neat.
Good. You done anything? Gone to any experiences or had any fun times?
I haven't experienced. I mean, I'm experiencing something currently. I've announced it on the tweeties and stuff that I'm shooting my Mandalorian short film, which is very fun.
Very cool.
We're hurtling towards a release date. I think we'll make it. I think we'll get there. I saw a quote I sent to the group chat that was about the upcoming Furiosa film. It said, George Miller's Furiosa has one 15-minute sequence which took them 78 days to shoot with close to 200 stunt people working on it daily. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Damn.
We got a 15-minute film that only took 5 days to shoot. So, George, you're fucking wasting your time, bro.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
Get on with it. Get
on it.
That's crazy.
That is wild. That is ridiculous. That's
78 days. I hope it's worth it, bud.
That's shorter than I think most films are shot.
Yeah. For a 15-minute sequence. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been very sweaty. Genuinely, every time we've gone to shoot, it has been, you've probably seen, like, Sydney's gone up and down with temperatures and wet weather, and it's like, oh, this is the cold week, but this will be sick. And then we get to Sunday, and it's like, you know what? 30. I'm like, oh, okay, good, that's awesome. That's really cool, guys.
I guess it's nice for, like, consistency in the shots, I guess.
Totally.
And probably nice weather.
It looks good.
It's better than, it like pissing down and being able
useless.
to shoot.
Yeah. But it sucks for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I still have never washed this costume, but it's definitely going to the dry cleaners at the end of all this shooting. And then burnt. I'm just going to burn it. But it's pretty fun. It's been good for Finchy as well, because Finchy did an audio course, and so he's handling all the sound effects and sound design stuff. So it's been a good thing for me to get back into editing and visual effects. Good thing for Finchy to play with that stuff. So it should be coming in the next month or so. If you're smart, you can work out what date we'd like to get it out. And so hopefully we hit that, but we'll see.
Very good. Very good. That's sick.
But I do have a clip to show from it, a little preview clip. So this is like, it's just a little section. It's a vertical slice, like a video game. It's like the demo for you to go to experience.
Yeah.
So everyone listening, just sit tight. Just listen along.
This is the real reason why Will wanted to do a podcast, just so we could have this secret reveal of his show.
Some footage. So here you go, everybody. Right. Enjoy. That's right, everybody. Look at it go. That's Josh in the green. That's right.
Incredible.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So there's a little snippet of what you can look forward to in the full short film.
That's it. It's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
And I also no longer look like little Chewy guy because I've been going clean shaven for the last few weeks.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
I was told that apparently I look older.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Weird.
You've gone the opposite way. I think because it's stubble, because it's like a shadow, it adds age to you, whereas the beard is like, it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because I would like to get like Manscaped or something and then
Yeah.
get one of the things and keep it quite stubbly.
Yeah.
But this is freshly shaven like half an hour ago.
Wow. You've got the
So
Homer.
it's like, yeah. So I guess now I just like have
yeah, the grey.
the gray. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a good
like
look.
it.
That's a good look.
There you go. But yeah, I do want it just like a little stubbly, like very, very light, as like a more permanent thing. But
Yep.
yeah, there you
Very
go.
nice. I've contemplated shaving completely off to be a character in the short film. So it's like, who's that fucker? Who the hell is that? 'Cause it's the
Amazing.
same thing. It's been there
Amazing.
forever. I do have a proper
Should
clip
do that, shave and get like a crazy
and a
haircut, so you
and
look wildly
just
different.
A mohawk. I'll just shave everything and then
Yes.
spike all my fluff up.
Absolutely.
I do have an actual clip, so I'll just this is an actual teaser clip for the short film. Here you go, everybody. There it is.
Nice, nice. What a tease.
There you go.
What a tease. Very good. I was hoping this was just something else.
another clip from the holiday special.
Yeah. Just taking off the helmet and it's actually Pedro.
Yeah, we got him. He's not
him.
busy at all. He's got nothing going
Nah.
on. He can jump in for this. Yeah, that's kind of what's been happening. Lots of work stuff. Obviously, not
Very
having, maybe briefly talk about not having the channel going. I feel like it's helped a lot. My mental state, I feel like, has lifted a lot this year. I feel a lot more focused on the things that I'm doing. Obviously, having time to do a short film and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
thank you, everyone, for letting us fuck off, basically.
It's been great. I will talk about it probably more towards the end of the podcast.
Yep.
But I've been learning a bunch of new things.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
very
exciting.
fun.
Yeah, cool.
I don't think I've told you about any of them yet. I've been waiting for a time like this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
very keen to get into that.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell us something in our first Seg of the podcast. Sega the podcast.
Sega the podcast. Sega?
Sega the podcast. Is that relevant? Maybe it's relevant. It's not. Let's press a transition. There you go. That was a transition.
This is so good. I love
Does
it.
the job, hey?
We're bringing it back every week. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Talk to us,
Okay.
Josh.
So actually, Sega might be related to
Oh, wow.
okay, so Milk mentioned in the Discord, but I found out through alternate means that iPhone have actually recently, well, Apple, not iPhone, Apple have recently loosened their rules regarding emulation software on iPhones and
right.
iOS.
Yep.
So apps and stuff. They've loosened that up. So there's been a few apps that have made their way. There was one company that apparently put something on and then very quickly removed it because they were emulating Nintendo software and they were afraid that Nintendo would come after them.
Fair.
But one company that has not shied away from pretty much only emulating iPhone software is Delta.
Delta.
Which is,
That's an
this
A.
guy,
There it is.
There it is. A. So
it's a D.
this is Delta.
Yep.
They emulate anything between NES, the NES, original Nintendo, right up to DS,
Yep.
which is very cool.
Yeah, sick.
And I think I heard that it also does a Sega console.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
So there you go. It works.
It looks.
So I since I have I already set up the Retroid late last year. I had a bunch of games just ready to go. So I downloaded it. I installed just a few. So there's SNES. There's 64.
Cool.
Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
And then when you select one, you
Oh.
get that.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks really nice. Like it's
lovely.
very, very crisp. And yeah, it just like it feels great every time you press a button. There's some haptic like vibration on the phone.
Sick. Wow.
Which is very, very nice. So it's nice and there's a bit of feedback there.
Yeah.
And it just works. It just works very, very nicely.
Cool.
There's even so on every platform there's a little menu button which brings up like save states and stuff like
Cool.
you have in emulation.
Yep.
So You can do that. There's cheat codes. There's fast forward. There's like a hold down.
Yeah.
So you can press something and it'll hold the button down rather than just pressing it once.
Yeah.
Things like that. So little cheats that you can have. And the one thing I mentioned to you before we started that Milk brought this up, and I was like, damn it, he stole the news that I was going to put out.
Yeah.
But one thing that I found in a YouTube video talking about how to use this is you can actually download skins.
Oh, cool.
So actually, this is not the one I wanted. Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
So you can download different skins. And you can change them out.
Yeah.
And you can go for all platforms. You can also go horizontal.
Yep. Sick.
Every platform.
I say,
has a horizontal
landscape.
mode.
And yeah, cool.
Yeah. So if you want to go that way, this one up the top is the default.
Yep.
The purple. And then I downloaded
of course.
the red one.
Yep.
I also downloaded a Pikachu
wow.
of that too.
That's very cute.
So you can go to skins for Delta, the number 4.
Yep.
Skinsfordelta.com, and you can download different skins. There's I don't know, there's probably like 50 per platform.
Yeah, cool.
People making ones that, look like old controllers or look like old versions of Game Boys and Game Boy Colors, or things that they wish that they released as Game Boy Colors and things like that. Old designs. It's very, very cool. And yeah, it just works nicely. I would probably personally go for the Retroid. I actually have it here.
There it is.
I'd go for this because it's got physical buttons and stuff. It's much nicer to use. But failing that, having all of those on the iPhone is very good. It's very nice. It's clean. It's very easy to use. Even doing the skins, you can do that so easily.
Yeah.
On the you can just download it. I think you just press and hold on the skin, and it downloads it, or you just click it and it downloads it straight into your files, and then you just move it.
That's
into the directory through your phone, and it's there.
That's pretty good for an iPhone. Things aren't usually easy to do on those things.
Not at all. Not at all. It's been very, very good.
That's sick.
So yeah, very, very cool. And I tried to download some mirroring software so that I could very nicely bring it up over the top of my face. And I got it to work perfectly until I opened the app.
Oh,
opening Delta, the mirroring software tries to only mirror the game for some reason, not the whole screen.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have shown off the menus. I couldn't have shown off the the nice skins that I've downloaded and stuff like that. Yeah. Very annoying.
It would just look like you're showing capture of a game.
Exactly. Yeah. So very frustrating. But so I just, for those at home, I tried to make it much nicer for you, but was not able to.
Yeah.
I did put some planning into this.
Put his planning in. That's good.
That's right.
Anyone listening, check out the video to see all the bits and pieces of that.
That's right. Cool. Come check out my skin.
Yeah. I got my bucks. He's got his skin.
That's it. And it's free. It's totally free as well.
That's cool. Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
So,
but make sure you buy all the games that you emulate, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Definitely. Vim's Lair is definitely not the best place to get them.
Okay.
I've never gone to that website before. It definitely doesn't look like a weird, sketchy, 90s website.
No.
But it's definitely also not the best place to get it and not get any pop-ups or viruses.
Yeah, don't go there.
Or anything like that. Don't go to Vim's Lair, VIMMSLAIR.
Yeah.
Just don't head there to get any
avoid those letters
or emulation software.
Yeah. Just saying shady thing. I realized actually the biggest thing that's happened to me since the last podcast is that there's a banh mi place that opened up next to the office, and it's so good. But nice. She only cooks a certain amount of pork, and so if you get there after 12, it's chicken all the way down, which is fine. But it's not. You gotta have pork in your banh mi. What's the point?
That's right. It's very, very good. Do you are you a I'm gonna say cilantro because I can't remember the name of the thing.
Like shallots or something
No, what's the Australian name for cilantro?
I don't know.
The thing that tastes like soap.
I know what you're talking about.
People.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Cilantro. You've thrown me. Now you've got me saying it. That's all I can think of.
Coriander.
Coriander. Yeah. I just let them,
Are you a coriander man?
I don't particularly like it. I let them put it in there, and then I have a few, and then I'm like, that's enough. I get a few in me, and then I'm like, all right, I just want the pork.
Yeah, I'm not at all. I have the gene that makes it taste like soap, and it's disgusting.
Wow.
Hate it. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to spend half of a lunchtime at work when we got banh mi's at my old work, just picking them out as much as I could.
Yeah, and then do you get it, because you've obviously gotten rid of it now, so do you go get some hand soap and replace it, or you just don't like the texture?
I was watching a Scott Kramer video recently where he was like at a restaurant and his brother comes over and is like, hello sir, can how's your meal? And he's like, oh, pretty good. Could I add some could I get some cilantro though?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, of course. And he gets a grater and some soap and just starts grating soap over the top of his meal.
Very good. That's great. That's a great bit.
It's a good bit.
That's very funny. Cool. Well, if you need to emulate games, they can.
They can.
I'm just thinking how I've structured this podcast. Let's go to an ad break here, and then it comes back. I feel like that's fun.
Okay.
Let's do that. If you want to watch a thing, these are what these ad breaks are for now. It's to support the things that we do, because that's how we earn money in our jobs. So if you're not already over at Backpocket and watching all the things that happen there, please do. Backpocket.gg is my place of work. I know everyone in the Discord that is listening to this, but just in case someone else stumbles upon it, it's the home of your favorite people from ABC Me and 2 from when you're a child. It's Hex and Goose, and the other ones are also there. I guess in that case, it's me and Pete, and so I just dogged myself, which is fair. No one.
Now, relatively recently-ish, you have Ruby Innes.
If you used to scroll,
made mostly famous from Kotaku.
Yeah, you used to scroll Kotaku when you were a kid. Now you can see where she went. She's also on the show, and we have lots of guests every Thursday night at 7 p.m, although this week coming I think it's on a Wednesday because something about Anzacs, but usually Thursdays at 7 p.m, and it's very fun. We also last week brought back the playbacks, so they're back on the channel every fortnight, so get back into them. They're Let's Plays, very exciting. I had a lot of fun with them, and I think Gus will at least try to edit them and then get frustrated with it, and then I'll probably keep editing them that, because that's why I got employed, was they were trying to edit them. Gus was like, I'll edit these. He started editing them and was like, I don't like this. Let's get Will to do it. And then that's how I got another job. So yeah, backpocket.gg, join the Patreon as well if you're enjoying all the stuff there. It helps us out a bunch. What would you like to plug, Josh?
I am going to push people towards a trailer for a game. It's a game that I don't know if I can say that I'm working on or not, so I might not be working on it. I might be. Who's to say? I may be the only one currently working on it at my company to bring it to anything other than a PC. But Playside recently, I think just this week, released a trailer for a game called Kill Knight.
Yeah, cool.
It is brutally hard by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Yep.
And yeah, it's got an interesting vibe. I think Gus would like it because it is a wave mode.
Oh, wow.
Very, very brutally hard.
This trailer really got you.
Oh man, it's been
you're getting flashbacks to this trailer.
It's been an emotional week, you know. Yeah, it's a like isometric sort of top-down shooter. I don't know if there's an end to level 1. That's how hard it is.
Jeez, that's
my
sick.
boss said that he couldn't get past level 3.
Yep.
And I was like, interesting.
Wow.
That's very good of you because I couldn't get past level 1. I am also, I may or may not be playing it on a console that is in Sydney. So, you know, there's lag.
Yeah.
Get off my back.
Yeah, maybe you're not shit at games.
That's right.
Maybe.
That's right. But yeah, check out the trailer for Kill Night.
Kill Night.
From Playside Studios.
Very exciting.
Very good. Coming at some point this year.
That's very cool. Very nice.
Check it out.
Yeah, there you go. 2 things for you to watch. One thing is a very short thing, and one thing could take over your life and suck funds from your bank account.
That's right.
Choose wisely, I guess.
Hopefully one of the things leads to sucking funds out of your bank account.
A little suck. It's like
still a little suck.
a brief suck.
Brief suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the ad read.
Let's get out of here.
We had ads to read.
Welcome back, everybody. I have a segment. This is the Will segment. And my favorite color is yellow. My segment actually started... It's the same idea, but I had to pivot. My idea was that I would look up famous or just general comic book arcs, and we would try and work out what happens in them based purely off the title. The issue is... most of them are like Spider-Man goes to the shops and then Mary Jane fucks someone else and he gets sad. Like that's usually it's very obvious what the storyline is. So every time I looked for one, it was very obvious. So I pivoted from that, but I'll throw it to the Discord. I'll throw it to Joshy. If you want to pull a suite together, maybe next time we do one of these, that could be what the segment is. But I pivoted instead to cancelled video games. So I've just got like the Wikipedia of them, and I'll look at one, I'll say a name, and we'll kind of try and work out what it might be, and then I'll actually click on the wiki.
Cool.
So the first one I was looking at is Ashes Cricket 2013. No, that's fine.
Is that actually on there?
Yeah, apparently it didn't come out. They must have skipped a year.
Interesting.
Furthermore, on the 20th of November, the publisher 505 Games, not your one, formally announced that the game had been cancelled and the refunds were being given to it. There you go. Interesting. They just didn't bring out Ashes in 2013.
But what was it about? How do we know?
I don't know what it would... I guess dead cricketers.
It's got to be it.
That has to be it. The first one...
It's probably like that one. I guess that one was cancelled, and then the license was probably given to
maybe, yeah.
Big Ant.
And maybe it got
like,
shifted over.
we made Ashes Cricket.
Yeah, let's actually... This is really important. Development.
Now I'm invested.
The game was eventually... Well, that's not a cancelled game. The game was eventually released on November 2013. You're a fool. Maybe it got released under a different company. But not your guys.
Wikipedia is wrong.
Wikipedia is a fuckwit.
What the hell?
The first game I was looking at is a game called... And also, you may know these, so you can cheat at this game. It's called Chroma Squad.
No.
I don't know. This is the game.
Chroma Squad.
So what do we think? Is it a shooter or is the squad? Is it a party game? Like it's because chroma's like colors. Is it actually like a kids game?
Because chroma key is very very colorful.
Yeah. Chroma Squad. Is it? And also these are it's a PlayStation 3 game that got cancelled. So it's pre Splatoon and stuff, I guess. So it's not like it could be a Splatfest.
Yeah. Is it a are we chroming a squad?
Oh yeah.
Is it a painting game?
Pimp my guy.
Yeah. Amazing. That was great. So good.
Oh yeah. Customizing guys.
Chrome a squad. No. Chroma Squad.
I wonder if it is because it's PlayStation 3 or maybe it is just a fun name for a brown shooter because PlayStation 3 was an era of those. Yeah,
definitely. It definitely feels, unless this one company was trying to go out of the box with making a colorful shooter, and then they realized it wasn't going to work, so it got cancelled because no one wanted color during the PS3
That's true.
era.
Only the blob.
That's right.
That's the only color in that whole era was the blob.
That's right. That's it.
All right, let's find out what Chroma Squad was.
And then, wait, PS... Oh, no, that was PS4. I was thinking, what's that? Sunset Overdrive was very colorful, but that's when color came back.
That's true.
PS4,
in games.
Xbox One era.
We had no color for a while.
That's right.
Chroma Squad is a tactical role-play video game by Brazilian development team at Behold Studios. There you go. The logo is very cool. That's a very fun, almost Broforcey logo.
There's the colors.
Yeah.
You can see it.
The game's development was funded by Kickstarter, so I guess they never quite got there. It was influenced by I can never say this, but the guy that made like Power Rangers and stuff. So I'm intrigued. Let me look up gameplay. This is podcast as an audio format, so we can cut things. It looks very mobile gamey, but
right.
it is a
Wait,
tactical.
This is PS3.
Yeah, I don't know how that mouse works. Maybe it eventually got a PC release, and it didn't end up coming to the PS3. That may be their little loophole in this awful list.
So
yeah, no, this list is bullshit. Because in E is Epic Mickey, which is very much a game. And also, I think probably Final Fantasy 15 probably came out. This list is insane. Gravity Rush. Cancelled PlayStation 3 games. Eat my ass. This is terrible.
What the heck?
Let me go to the Ouya. There's 2 cancelled Ouya games.
Nice.
One of them is called The Mysterious Song. What could that be?
Well, who was it Soldier Boy? Was he the one repping the Ouya?
The Ouya? Maybe.
I think that was Soldier Boy. Maybe they got him. Maybe
he wrote a song.
He wrote a mysterious song.
Oh. It's a brown note.
No.
You just play it and you shit yourself. Oh, I wonder what this game is on my Ouya that I somehow got.
The real reason why the Ouya failed.
Yeah. The mysterious song plays on boot up. So everyone just shit themselves when they turned on their console.
Love it. No, I'm thinking like, I don't know, some sort of adventure game starring Soldier Boy. Where he needs to, he's heard a song.
Yeah.
And he needs to track it down. It's the Song of Destiny.
Ah.
He can't, he's heard it and he needs to find it.
Yep.
And he'll save the world with it. Soldier Boy saving the world with a song that he needs to discover.
That's good. Taking place in the land of Torren, the player assumes the role of Spear, a young trainee knight who... knight! Soldier Boy, that's pretty good. It's a soldier, a knight. There you go.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a link there. Who is tasked
nice.
by King Algamith I want to say the 11th, maybe, to investigate the insurgence of monsters that are appearing in the kingdom. It is a role-playing video game from the year 2000 that was going to come to the Ouya. So it exists.
From the year 2000?
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, this will make it sell.
Ouya's release date was 2013.
Yeah. So they were going to put a 2000 game.
What?
And it's a free
insane.
role-playing game. So it's obviously like an online, probably Japanese game. They were like, yeah, chuck that on the Ouya. That'll get the players.
I'm trying to find who was part of the Ouya.
I think Soldier Boy's thing was he basically bought an emulator and called it the Soldier Boy game console. And it was just an emulator.
Yeah, keeping in line with the rapper's distinctive branding, the line of game consoles is aptly named Soldier Game.
Well done, Soldier Boy.
Okay, so it's not Soldier Boy on the Ouya. I thought the Ouya had like a big name behind it as well.
Yeah. I mean, Ouya is pretty big if you scale it up. It's a pretty big name.
It's true. And it could have been like, it could have been, I don't know, like who does like the yeah? Is that like Lil Wayne?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about the world.
Like they could get him going, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that I can hear the cadence in that. But it was so much less powerful.
It's great.
That was very funny.
It peaked on my end.
Yeah, good.
It's great.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
One final one. This is a PlayStation 5 game that may have been cancelled. It is called Hyenas. Bracket video game bracket. Hyenas.
Is it a movie tie-in? Was there a Hyenas side thing from The Lion King?
Maybe.
Was there ever something that focused on the hyenas?
You would think so. Those characters totally would.
This is a tie-in from the year 2000.
That's all my
PS5.
It's crazy that in popular media that they're the only hyenas that have ever existed. Like It feels like it should be a stereotype that, like, and it is, because, like, hyenas laugh and stuff, but I feel like my brain can't think of another place where there's been laughing hyenas.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. What the heck?
That's very strange, because even as a kid, I was like, this is a trope. As a 3-year-old child, I was like, what I'm saying here is fucking trope.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen laughing hyenas before.
Amazing.
Turned to my parents.
Totally.
I
can't think of a game that isn't those hyenas.
Yes, if it was called hyenas. Is it a it's like what was it, Buzz, when you had all those remotes for the PlayStation 2 that had a big red button at the end of it? It's like that, but it's a stand-up game, and it's just like it's FMV, and they've recorded a bunch of comics that are trying to break through into the industry, and so they walk on stage, and you as the hyena get to buzz them out, and that makes them, you laugh at them but not with them, and
Nice.
so it's a mockery of
So it's okay. What you said made me think that this is like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den.
Oh yeah,
Where like if you're laughing, you like hit the button to tell this like fake comedian or whatever that they're funny.
Yes, that's good.
And you are the hyenas.
Yeah.
So you can, if you don't press the button, then they fail.
They get sad and then they just jump off the stage.
Yeah.
Because
So
we're
there's
also
this-
in like the big pits in The Lion King, like the green lava and stuff. So
Of course.
you don't laugh at them long enough, they get sad and just jump in the lava. Because
That's it.
comedians, they're generally not very happy people. So if you don't give them what they need, it's a sad place for them.
This is it. Yeah. And like if you're only laughing a little bit, like they feel a little awkward and they start bombing a little more. But if you're like laughing a lot, they get better and the jokes are better and their confidence is higher. It's very reactive.
So it's on you to make them funny, basically.
yeah.
If you don't laugh at them, they get worse and they die. It's like, it's like, you know what it is? It's like they're a little Tamagotchi, and so you pressing the button is you feeding them and looking after the comedian.
That's right.
So gameplay could go on forever if you just keep laughing at them, and then you do it so long that they get really like scared and anxious, and then they still jump into the pit.
I just looked at my laptop where I develop games, my own games. I'm like,
I can make this.
have we just come across something here?
Yeah.
Do I need to contact some of my favorite Melbourne comedians to do some stand-up sets?
stand-up. Imagine if it was
on
live.
a green screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was live interacting. Hyenas was a planned science fiction first-person shooter developed by Creative Assembly and published by Sega.
Sega, they're back.
They're back again. It was ultimately
Interesting.
cancelled by Sega in late September 2023, so recently, citing a low potential for profitability. And clearly, we've shown you the way of how Hyena's video game could be profitable.
That's right.
So if you
I'm
want
looking at some gameplay now.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Look, it looks like Chroma Force.
Oh, amazing.
Looks like what Chroma Force should have been.
The thumbnail has Sonic in it.
Oh, made by Sega, I guess,
Yeah,
but it shouldn't have Sonic in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 100% Chroma Force.
This is the game that we pitched. Oh, yeah, Sonic in a fucking cage.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. I just saw someone wearing a Sonic outfit.
Yeah, this is totally what we pitched this video game when we played. What was the terrible Ubisoft Fortnite clone? Hyperscape? Is that what that was
Yes.
called?
Yeah.
We pitched that and we were like, this should be where their brands all cross over and you can dress as an assassin and you can be a watchdog. Because I assume that's what you do in that game. You be a dog that looks at things. Like, that's what that game should be. And that's what this looks like it was going to be. Like a Sega. That's where all their IP lives and gets to mesh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess Sega isn't big enough to do that. And that's why they were like, eh.
Yeah, maybe not. I just jumped to 142 as well, and they're reaching out to try and grab a Sonic figurine.
Yeah, weird, sad. It's crazy that it only got cancelled last year as well. And crazy that at the end of this segment, it was a game that actually got cancelled. It took 3 different months, but we got there in the end.
We got there. Incredible.
Oh, dear. Well, shall we get to our last segment? Oh, shit, I don't have it in here. Hang on. Let's do it on the fly.
What?
Let me, this is important.
We're flying.
We're flying here. We're soaring.
If you got a seat in your pants, we're flying by them.
Yep, we're looking at it. Mm-hmm. Assets. Oh, where do you live? Where do you live? I kind of lost this.
Where do I live?
I cannot lose. I can't lose this. Okay, there we go. All is well. Now it's time for our last segment. Rec. There we go. I have plans for what that intro title was, and I forgot to make it, and then I also forgot to put it in here.
I wonder if we could have just done that live much faster.
All right.
I feel like I've heard it for long enough that we probably could have pulled it off.
All right. Because you're doing that and I do the thing. Yeah. You're doing the beats.
Are we doing it?
Yeah. Let's do the remix. That's identical to the original.
It's going to be really hard, like, doing this.
That's true. We're together.
Over the internet, but...
All right. You start, because I can just join in there. Rec. Yeah, that's pretty good. It was significantly worse than the original. Welcome to the Rec Seg, where we wreck things. We've watched a lot of things. We're not going to tell you everything, but I do have a list, and I'm going to say a lot of words. But I've just been talking. Do you want to talk about your thing?
I'll talk about some stuff I've been doing.
Yeah.
I'll talk about my top one, which is a bunch of stuff I've been doing on my mobile phone.
Cool. Porn.
So not that.
Damn.
So
I've been trying to find it. I just can't. It's just nowhere on the internet. I was hoping you'd tell me where I could find it.
Very good.
I just keep getting chess pieces.
That's right. Well, at the moment, I'm getting a lot of ads for learning Japanese, and I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, after just telling everyone, go download Delta and play games, I deleted a lot of games off my phone.
Wow.
Because I decided this week, after watching a YouTuber basically say, like, I don't want to, get to the end of life or get to the end of through periods in my life and go, I wasted so much time doing that, which I have, playing a lot of like merging games and stuff on my phone. So I deleted all of the merging games, and it feels very weird to get to the end of my workday and I have like 83% battery.
Yeah. You haven't merged a thing.
Usually while I'm like compiling builds for Xbox and PlayStation, it takes like 20, 30 minutes. I can't do anything, so I just sit there and I just play stuff on my phone. And I'd have to charge my phone by about 2 p.m.
What about all those grandmas and stuff that are waiting in the house? They're like, you gotta put the scissors with the corn.
That's right. I put so much time into that freaking game, like daily. Probably like at least an hour every day playing that game. It's ridiculous. It was so much. So I've deleted all of those.
Okay.
And in the last week, I've started learning Japanese.
Cool.
So we have a lot of subscriptions. There's a lot of outpouring of money to things. So I decided to just like a couple of nights ago, I'm like, I wonder if there's any like websites or recommendations for, like a book, a good book that I could just buy, just a one-off payment instead of being like a yearly or monthly subscription. Just buy a book and I can learn Japanese.
Yeah, cool.
And I found this website.
Yeah.
And it's like the first web page is so long and it's just got like paragraphs and paragraphs, and it's broken up into all these different sections of all the different parts of Japanese. And then they have links to like other pages within those sections where it's like, before moving on to the next part, complete this, and you go there and it's another just like full thing, and it's all free.
Yeah, cool.
It's all free. They have PDFs which are all free. The PDFs have a lot of mnemonics. So the stuff I'm learning at the moment is called hiragana, which is the very I think it's like the staple or the beginning parts of learning Japanese. I think it's what kids learn when they start learning to read and write in Japanese. So it's before you get to like kana, whatever it's called. All that sort of stuff. There's all different sort of words for the different Japanese alphabets and things. So yeah, I'm learning hiragana, and they use a lot of mnemonics. So they give you like the picture, and then they overlay like a cat. And they're like, this kind of looks like a cat. And this one actually means cat in Japanese. And then they tell you like the thing that looks like a cat, Tiko. I think it's Tiko. It's cat. And just the one character that looks like a cat is like te.
Okay.
It's te.
Yeah.
And so you look at that, you see it looks like a cat, and you go, okay, that's te. And then the other one is like the second syllable or the second character of cat is ko.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of looks like ke. Crap, I can't remember. It's really bad.
You're learning.
Getting there. But yeah, it's just been it's because it's neko.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, getting ahead of myself. And it's just, this website is amazing. It's all free. If anyone wants information about it, hit me up. And yeah, I've been doing that. The first night, the first like 2 hours, Max fell asleep, and I just stayed on my phone for the next 2 hours, just learning.
Talking to yourself.
I learned 15 characters, what they look like, how they sound. And then they have like worksheets and stuff where I just screenshot them and then go into photo editing and just write on them. And then you can just erase it and try again and like practice.
Yeah, cool.
So I've been doing that to sort of memorize it and get faster at it and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been great. I learned 15 characters the first night and 10 the next day.
Yeah, cool.
And you know, I have not really gone back to look at all the mnemonics because I just know them now.
That's cool.
Which is great, although clearly I don't. But
there's 20 people listening. You're on the spot.
That's right. That's it. So it's been really cool. It has been a day or two since I've looked into it, but yeah, it was probably like Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday this week. I just started looking into it. And my inspiration behind this is I got an ad. Ever since we went to Japan, I've been getting ads for Japanese stuff. And now that I'm like learning it, that's literally the only ads that I'm getting on Instagram and Facebook is learning Japanese. That is all I've gotten, or traveling to Japanese, like to Japan. All I've gotten is learning that. It's ridiculous.
Bit late, mate. I'm doing it. Leave me alone.
I know. I'm partway there. So it's been awesome. But my inspiration is I keep seeing, so going over to Japan, there was like manga everywhere. And I'm like, I think I would actually really love reading manga. I love comic books. Why wouldn't I love Japanese comic books?
And you love reading those. You do that
I read them all the time.
Yeah.
So I've I got this ad that is in all Japanese. And it's like very, very cutesy. Obviously, it's very Japanese, very, kawaii. And it's all about a website that is bringing Japanese-only manga to the West, and they're looking for people to translate.
Oh.
So to look at the manga, be able to read the manga and be able to translate it into English so that then they can bring like digital Japanese manga to the West. And I'm like, that would be so cool to have as just like a side thing.
Yeah. You get to
like it's
free manga to read and
potentially, like it'd be really cool. So that's like low key a goal.
Cool.
To learn Japanese. Apparently it's one of the hardest languages to learn.
Nice. So and your brain is so hard now. There's nothing about that thing that's soft. That's the thing. When you're a baby, it's soft brain. You can just you can put
it's
shit
soft
in it.
and mushy.
You poke it and it bounces back.
It's much harder to learn things as an adult. Too.
Yeah.
So, which I'll get to something else in a sec after this. But yeah, so that's kind of like a low key goal. I don't know if I'll ever get there.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping I'll be able to stick with it. And I've got some people at my church, and obviously I live in a very Japanese area of, or very Asian area of Melbourne.
Yep.
So there could be people that I can talk to in Japanese and pick this up.
And they'll look at you and be like, bro, just talk to me, dude.
Probably. But yes, it's very cool. Even within, the ad that I was looking at, I paused it and was looking at the Japanese subtitles, and I was able to read some of the hiragana that I've already learned.
Yeah.
The one thing is, though, I can read the hiragana and I can say it, but I don't know what any of the things mean.
Yeah, right.
So, like, I'm picking up little bits of words and stuff because this thing teaches you, like, a couple of words through the worksheets.
Yep.
But knowing how to say it doesn't help me know what
it is.
people are saying yet. So that's going to be like a whole nother thing at a later date. But that's something that I'm trying to do now that I don't have these apps, these games that
very nice.
I won't be playing anymore.
Yeah.
And another thing that I've been doing is I've been learning drums properly.
Sick.
Which is great. So it's something that I think I said when we were going to finish up with this. I wanted to focus more on music and do more music things.
Yep.
So I downloaded an app called Drumeo, which is from a YouTube channel called Drumeo. And they're the biggest drumming YouTube channel around.
Yep.
They get like the professionals
cool.
in. So they get like, drummers from all sorts of bands, like, Chili Peppers and like metal bands and stuff like that. Like they get people from all over the place.
Yeah, cool.
To come in and teach techniques. And then they have their own like full-time teachers who are, also running the business. And they have a subscription service app where they teach you from absolutely nothing right up to being very, very good.
Yeah, cool.
There's expert level tutorial videos on there for people that are already very, very good at drums and want to progress more.
Yep.
And not only that, but they have other instruments on there now too, with other YouTubers that are very, very good in their field that they've kind of collaborated with.
Yep.
And it's all under the same subscription.
Cool.
So for no extra cost, I've got drums, which I would have paid for only for drums.
Yep.
But I also get guitar, piano, and vocals.
Wow.
All of the things that that I already play.
Yeah. Is it the same?
And now I can learn more.
Is it the same guy and he just tries to play drums on the piano? Just like fucking
No. So yeah, that would be great.
Look, it's called Drumeo. It's on the app, so it just should be how to play the drums on the piano.
Yeah. So I think the guy must have started something called like Musora or something, and then there's now Guitario, Piano. Like
I guess that one's
Singio,
tricky.
I think it's kind of off to the side. Piano.
Yeah. No, it's not quite. I mean, Pio.
Don't know. Pio. Yeah. Piano. Who's to say?
You know what? I think you might have nailed it.
they chose the right one.
Yeah. We'll stick to pitching video games.
That's right. Yeah, and it's been freaking great. So it's like $300 for the year.
Yep.
Which seems kind of pricey, but when you think about
like tuition,
I have essentially unlimited lessons as much as I want daily.
Yeah.
And if you were learning with a teacher, you'd probably be paying between $50 to maybe $150
and then
an hour.
You just talk about comics and never actually learn anything.
That's right.
What's the point in fucking paying for that?
Awful tutor would do that to a child.
Yeah. Didn't happen. I learned plenty.
Not at all. That's right. Our lessons went for 3 hours to get through enough content that I felt like I earned my money.
Yeah.
So it's just been great. That's another thing that I've been doing instead of playing these games while waiting for for computer things to happen. I've just been jumping over to, that was not far enough, jumping over to my drum kit
Yep.
over there.
There it is.
Just learning drums, playing drums, learning a bunch of new things. It's been awesome. They've got, it's just like, there's a straight through tutorial where they like, the first thing they teach you the individual drums, what they are and what they sound like.
Yep.
The second one is setting up your room to set up the drum kit.
That's cool.
Not setting up the drum kit, but setting up the room.
Yeah, cool.
And it's like, don't have it in a cluttered environment because it'll be hard to get to the drum kit and you won't want to practice because it'll be too hard to get there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, down to that level. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. The third video is placing the stool and the pedals.
Wow.
That's a whole video. That's like an 8-minute video.
That's cool.
Insane. Like it's so specific. Like I started getting more challenged. Like they go by levels as well. So there's level 1 to level 10.
Yep.
And this is just in the like learning from scratch sort of thing, like the lesson by lesson. And then within the app, there's also just learn this one specific technique, just learn this one song.
Yep.
Here's a workout. So here's like a beat to play for 10 minutes and they change it up every now and again and it challenges you and it's to try and keep you consistent for like playing for 10 minutes straight. They have thousands of songs on there where they've removed your instrument or you can play along with your instrument.
Yeah, cool.
And they have all the sheet music.
Yep.
So I can read drum sheet music now too.
Yeah, cool.
And you can play along to hundreds or thousands of songs. I played along to the original Zelda song.
That's a wild one to
From
be in
the
there.
NES.
How cool.
It's 3 notes over and over again.
Good.
It's like that's pretty
That
much
sounds
it.
right, yeah.
But I found it and I'm like, I can't not. So I've played along to it once.
That's fun.
But it's great. Like it's just got so much on there. There's
cool.
so much. So I've been doing that for like a month. I'm only halfway through like level 2. Level 2 is where I started getting challenged as well. Because I could play drums to some extent, but
Yeah.
I wanted to go through to try and, see exactly how they're teaching and what they're teaching, just to see if there's anything I've missed. So I'm learning new techniques and stuff, which weren't challenging, but just how to hold the sticks properly and where to hold them and things like that. Now I'm starting to get challenged with adding in like extra beats on off beats and things like that, and separating out like your left hand, left foot, right foot, and playing things at different times. It's been great. It's been so good. Like, delete your apps and social media, social media, and go learn some stuff.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
I wonder if you can do both. I wonder if you can learn Japanese and drums at the same time that uses both parts of your brain and you're just like, you turn into Lucy, you just turn into a fucking USB. Just sitting there learning shit.
Imagine.
Yeah. Are you using, do you still have an iPad or something that you can put your...
So Max has an iPad.
Yeah,
perfect.
perfect.
Great.
Yeah, good.
I've been using that. But the app is also on phone, works fine on a phone.
Yep.
And my drum kit is right next to my window. So I just put like the iPad or my phone up against the window and I can just see that. But it's also on a PC, so I could just have my laptop and set that on like the amp next to it or whatever.
God, we have a lot of screens.
We do. We have so many.
I was looking at my phone the other day and I'm like, it's weird. Like, did you ever like have those weird out of body technological experiences where I'm like, there is so much going on with you. Like, there is so many images and colors and like things that are happening on this piece of glass. It's very weird.
I feel like I was watching something or thinking about something the other day, thinking about like how insane a phone is now to how it was when I was in early high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, or like late primary or whatever, where I had a 3315 and it was like, could barely do anything. Now it's like, I can do anything. I can do everything. But then I have screens that can also do all of that.
Yeah, other screens.
Like I've got 2 computer monitors. I've got a laptop here. I've got my phone here. I've got my Retroid here. I've got my Switch here. That's 7 screens within arm's reach.
It's crazy. And
6.
Then it's like,
I can't count.
This thing has got lots of little screens. The Stream Deck is just a bunch of screens.
It's like 15 screens. What the heck?
What a weird world we live in. Yeah, I'm the same.
Terrifying.
I've killed off TikTok, and which then, as anyone who's killed off any of those apps, you then just go to Reels, and then you go, I have to get rid of Instagram, and then you just go to Shorts. So I'm getting through the apps, but Mini Me was in the studio for Back Pocket the other day. Really cool. No offense to every guest we've had. That's the first guest I've been like, oh, sick. I like him.
Nice.
If you don't know, he makes. If you've ever watched an Australian guy talk about a movie tie-in game, it was probably him. Is the YouTube channel. But he got out his laptop to post about being on the show, and we're like, oh, and he's like, I don't sign in to social medias on my phone. I'm only signed in on desktop, so that I don't have it in my pocket, but I have them. I just don't have it. And I'm like, that's a great idea. Like, that's such a cool. Like, you still have the ability to check it, but you don't have that urge to do it on your phone.
It's harder to do it.
Yeah, it's an actual check-in. It's like, okay, here's an hour, and we're going to do the thing, and then fuck off, which is very cool. But if I did all that, then I wouldn't have Letterboxd to be able to log all the shit that I watched. I haven't done anything new with my life, but I've found through not having the channel, I've just watched a lot more things. So
I've done that through being married.
That helps.
To someone who watches things.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm not married to anyone. Imagine if that was the thing that I had in the catch-up. Like, I got married. What the fuck? I also realized something this year. In my Letterboxd thing, I have a thing called I'm Watching You and the Year, and I've been doing that for the past maybe 5 years. And I know when I had a year of video games, because last year I played a lot of games, and I don't think I cracked like 60 or something. And then every other year was like 100 and something, and then 2020 was down to like 50 because we were in isolation and stuff, and so I was playing games. So I think it's going to be another pretty full year, because I'm at 63 films so far.
Partway through April. What the heck?
We're not even halfway through the year. I think I hit, what did I hit last year? I hit 86, so I'm only 20 off last year's number.
Insane.
I'm just going to say them all. There's a few TV series in here as well, but I'll say them all, and I'll pick one out of here. But I've watched Talk to Me, Poor Things, Bottoms, Godzilla -1, I saw that twice. The Nice Guys, All the Light We Cannot See is an awesome Netflix series. Mark Ruffalo and a few other characters. Mark Ruffalo doing a really weird English accent. He can't do accents. But it's set. He's being a. No one actually speaks French, but it's set in Paris. They're all English, but in that they've all done these weird accents where it's like, I guess it's kind of like if a French person spoke English. It's very strange. And he does that same voice in Poor Things as well. So it's clearly just his European accent. That's on Netflix. Nice Guys. Echo also came out this year. I watched The Mummy Returns, Ferrari, Next Goal Wins, Saltburn, awful film. Aquaman 2, The Iron Claw, the Grand Tour special, Sonic the Hedgehog. Just gotta watch the sequel with the parents. Madam Web, Self-Reliance, Argyle, Bob Marley, One Love, June Part 2. I watched all the short films for the Oscars nominations. Dendy does that, which is really cool. So that was an awesome thing.
Nice.
Big Trouble in Little China, Spaceman, Rogue One, Working Girl, Masters of the Air, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Immaculate, Wicked Little Letters, Challenges, Elysium, both Ghostbusters films, Steve Martin documentary, The Bloody 100th, Godzilla vs. Kong, New Empire, The Bone Collector, The Boys in the Boat, Monkey Man, Robot Dreams, and Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's my current movie list. I'm excited to rank them. I haven't bothered to do it this year so far.
Can I just ask, Spaceman, is that the Adam Sandler one?
Yes.
Weird freaking movie.
Very odd. I kept waiting for it to do something.
Yeah.
Like,
but I love what's the guy?
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
Yeah.
Dano, whatever. He's freaking great. Love that guy.
Yeah, the perfect voice for a weird guy.
Just a weird yeah. The perfect everything for a weird guy. He's just a weird looking dude.
Yeah, he rocks up in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I'm just like, are you ever normal? Like,
yes, he does. Yeah, we watched that too. Yeah.
I'm like,
great.
what's
series too.
Very good. Very good
fun.
series. Yeah. I mean, look, while I'm listing things, let me just list the TV series this year.
Sure.
These are all I've watched in their entirety. Rick and Morty season 7, Monarch season 1, All the Light We Cannot See, both seasons of Clarkson Farm, Echo, Ted, Mandalorian season 3 I rewatched, Bad Batch season 3, Mr. and Mr. Smith, Masters of the Air, Atlanta season 1, Dick Turpin, Invincible season 2, and I just started Fallout last night,
Nice.
which is very fun.
Just finished Fallout
Oh, nice.
last night or 2 nights ago.
Nice. I watched the first 2, and only from those, I'm like, I think this is the best video game series that they've done.
It's quite good. I just love, like, visually it's great. I love, I'm not like the biggest Fallout guy. I should be, because I love those sorts of you know, open world adventure games where you get quests and get distracted doing other things.
Yeah.
There's some good references to
the mechanics of an open world kind of.
The side, basically side missions is a very, very good joke.
Good.
Later from the GOG.
Yeah.
It visually just looks so good and so like accurate. Like it doesn't feel like a bunch of people doing cosplay.
Yep.
Everything feels cohesive, like it actually fits within the world. And you know, like they haven't gone to like weird sort of crazy liberties of being like, let's just like change up the look of this to make it look a little better. It's like, no, this just straight up looks exactly like the mech suits and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they straight up look like they're just ripped out of the game.
I know you say they don't look like cosplay. I love how much they kind of do. Like they look almost foam in the way that they kind of move. They don't feel heavy. They because I don't know. There's something really charming about it. It almost feels like a 1980s film in like, this is a real thing someone's wearing. So of course it's not metal. It's made of like polyurethane or something. And so it has
I think I've heard that they're actually practical too.
Yeah, they're all real suits. Yeah.
With CG. It's wild.
Like I love it. I love, totally. And I also love that, for me, I've only watched whatever you played of Fallout 4 when you first got it. That's all I've ever seen of it. So I've got no point of reference, but I'm like, oh yeah. Like even from an outside looking in from a vague knowledge of video games, like the moment I was like, oh, this is the best one was in the second episode where there's a shootout and there's like the slow motion kill cams that are basically in all Bethesda games. I'm like, you didn't have to do that. That's awesome. So it's also one of the few times I've been like, the gore doesn't feel silly. Like it's impactful, but it's not like consistent and like annoyingly like, oh, you didn't have to do like it kind of fits with the tone of the show, which is cool.
It just works. There's some great like cameos coming up. I'm excited for a couple for you. You'll know one there's one as soon as you hear it too. Like as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh my gosh,
that's sick.
It's great. There's just some really good moments. It's a great show. Really loved it. Stoked that I think just yesterday they announced that they're getting renewed for season 2, which is amazing.
Totally. I'm like having binged. I watched 2 episodes, but I'm like, oh man, this should have been weekly. Like. It got great discussion and people are very much like praising it online, but I'm like, oh man, if this was 8 weeks worth of a show, people would have. It would have been like Westworld because it's the same creators of Westworld as well, and I'm like getting those vibes to a T, but a little bit more fun. Like it's definitely less schlocky. I mean, it's more schlocky, but less like hokey. Westworld was very like we're a serious show, and it's just it's playing in a different world, but with that same like. There's just all those moments from season 1 where you're like, huh? What's that? What was that about? Tell me more. Yeah. And so, I'm excited. And I'm glad it continues to be good. For the rest of it.
It's great. Like I think because it's a serious show, but then there's just like a bunch of silliness in there. Yeah. It just sort of breaks it up and makes it a bit more palatable, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
There's some
good levity to it all. Like the characters are so fun.
Yes. Yeah. There's like very minor moments where I'm like, oh, that like, you know, that mech suit flying away looked a little dummy or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like there was like 2 or 3 moments in the whole series.
It's because these shows look so good. It's like if the show looked 80% less good, it wouldn't matter. It's just like we watched fucking Arrowverse stuff where everything looked okay. So when something looked bad, it was like, whatever. It's like these shows look so fucking good that when something's a little bit off, it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Shows look too good now.
Yeah.
We're treated.
It's great. And the soundtrack is so good. Oh man.
Yeah.
Just the like 20s to 50s music is
Yeah.
Ugh.
I love it.
Love it.
It's so committed.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the show I talk about. The one film that I want to bring up is Robot Dreams, which I've talked about on the Tweety. I won't spoil much about it, but yeah, the basic concept of it is it's an animated film about a little dog that's very alone, and it sees an advertisement for a robot, and it goes, that could be my friend, and it buys the robot. And if that's not enough for you to be like, oh. The whole thing is very beautiful. I think a Spanish film, but it is completely dialogueless. There isn't a single line of dialogue, and it's just all in sound design and music. And yeah, is
it a full film?
Yes,
like hour and a half?
Yeah. I think it's just over 90. Yeah, and I don't know if it missed last year's Oscars or it will be in this one, but I hope it at the very least gets a nomination. It's just very sweet and a very unique experience. In the theater, so like I think it's still playing, but it may be only playing in your dendies and your village and stuff like that. But yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I was asking Max yesterday. I'm like, "Do you want to do anything this weekend? Do you want to go to the movies or whatever?" And she started looking up some stuff, and I was like, "Oh, Will mentioned a movie somewhere," and I was trying to find it, and I just ended up messaging you.
Yeah.
And then she looked it up and read about it, and it was like. Yeah. It's about a robot and a dog being friends.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I think we both started like talking about that concept. And I'm like, that's a being that has a very short life with a best friend with something that has an infinite life. And we both just started thinking about it and almost crying. Like we were like, I don't know if we can go see this, but we found it at a movie cinema like
good.
10 minutes away.
Yeah.
This afternoon. So
awesome.
We may go see it if we think we can bring ourselves to watch
totally.
it.
There is a surprising film that I would reference it to, and I'll say you'll know the one I'm thinking of once you've seen it. But that would spoil it, and I won't. But it is the whole film. I was like, is this? And then that happens. I'm like, oh. So yeah, but we'll talk about it later if you end up seeing it. But Robot Dreams. Please do check it out.
Amazing. I've got 2 more. Quick. I've been playing a bunch of games since we sort of finished up. I 100%ed Goat Simulator 3, and played through Star Wars. Played. I think maybe like a third of Sea of Stars. Yep. I just needed a break from it, so I started playing other things, and I'll go back to it at some point.
Yep.
But I have started playing Inscription.
Yeah, cool.
It's great.
Yeah,
really fun. There's some trippy moments.
Yep.
But I don't think I'm anywhere near the amount of trippiness that this game has in store.
Yeah. Do you know anything about do you know the? Yeah, awesome.
I was just aware that it was a card game that kind of wasn't a card game and had some like escape room elements to it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
all I know of this game, which I'm stoked about.
Yeah.
The next game, which I also know nothing about because like the next game that I want to play, that I also know nothing about, but anyone who's played it won't say anything about it, is Outer...
Oh,
Wilds.
yeah. I see why you're
I had Outer Worlds in my head. Outer Wilds. I think that's my next game that I'm going to play.
Yeah, cool.
I'm going to jump on Game Pass and play through that because I just keep hearing ridiculously good things, and I'm trying to only play games that I have.
Yeah, nice.
I've bought, other than Inscription and a bunch of Nancy Drew games because they were ridiculously cheap on Steam. I've pretty much only bought Star Wars this year.
Yeah, cool.
As like a new game.
Yep.
So yeah, trying to just play through a backlog.
I think it's the year for it. It's a bit quieter.
Yeah. So far, there's nothing in particular that I really want to jump into.
Yeah.
I do want to play. I want to play the Final Fantasy games. I want to play like Final Fantasy VII, but I want to play the original Final Fantasy VII and then play
Yeah.
the remake because I've heard there's references to
It's a little meta and it's
remake in
yeah.
a way that it's almost like an alt universe sort of thing. So I want that.
You want the full story.
Yeah. So I'll probably play that on the Retroid
Yeah, cool.
at some point because I got it. But I have been playing Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I haven't
nice.
properly like sunk into a Pokemon game since 3DS, maybe. Maybe not even, because that was Sword and Shield and I didn't play that. Probably DS.
Yep.
Probably like Pokemon Black 2, maybe. Would have been the last one that I played. But I knew from playing Arceus when I first got it that I would love it.
Yep.
But then I got distracted. We had ETTO, so we were playing so many other things.
Yeah.
There's almost no time to finish a game.
Yep.
But I'm back in it. I've played all of the main game. But there is so much post-game stuff to do. And it doesn't feel like the game is actually finished when you finish the main game.
That's right. Yeah.
Because then you have to I think it's like you have to meet all the Pokemon and you've got to fill out the Pokedex, but then there's research tasks to do and you have to do 10 of them to there could be, 50 or more to do.
Yep.
But you only have to do 10 to complete their entry in the Pokedex.
Right.
You can do all of them and perfect it, but I'm not doing that. Hell no.
Yeah.
So I'm just going through and trying to complete the Pokedex. So get all the Pokemon, complete their entries.
Yep.
And I think doing that will get me post-game, all the post-game main stuff.
Yep.
So I've been doing that and it's great. I've just been loving it. I think I'm pretty close
Yep.
to completing the Pokedex. I've finished 3 out of 5 regions completely.
Yeah. Okay.
And the other 2 are mostly done.
Yep.
They might be a quarter left on both of them. So some solid time should be able to push me through.
Chip away. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, getting there. Very, very stoked. I'm loving it. It's been great. It's nice to
cool.
get into a Pokemon game that I like. I just
Hasn't clicked.
I've just been over the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I heard good things about the other ones except the new one.
Yeah. Fun.
But yeah, it's been good playing a very different style of Pokemon game because it's wildly different from any other Pokemon game that's come out.
Yeah, nice.
Great.
Nice. I've been taking a bit of a break from games this year. I haven't really jumped into anything. The same reason, nothing's really taken my fancy. I will play Outlaws when it drops August 30th. Potentially, I'm it may actually drop on my birthday because of the way Ubisoft do their early access stuff. I'm I may just be the 26th.
Nice.
But the only game I have played this year, apart from I dabbled with the PSVR 2 early in the year, the only game I've only played 90 minutes of it because I want to be able to attack it in chunks, and I haven't had chunk time in a while. I've played the first 90 minutes of Death Stranding.
Oh, nice.
And I like it. I think it's neat.
It's good and weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Potentially, I was talking to them about it in the office. I don't know if it's because my bar of knowing how weird it is raised that I'm it's not that weird. I don't know what's happening, but I'm it's not abrasively weird. It's interestingly weird, which I don't think I was expecting. I was kind of expecting just weird, and I'm I've got nothing to latch onto. But there's enough in it that I'm okay, all right, oh yeah. I see what you're talking about. As it's happening, because the dialogue doesn't matter, as it's happening, I'm basically speaking out loud what's happening to myself. I'm okay, so that's the president, but it's his mum. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I'm literally, as the cutscene's happening, I'm diluting it for my brain to comprehend what's happening.
100%. Yeah, you need to. Yeah. And they just sort of it's weird, but they drop enough in there that it's this will probably be explained.
Yeah.
There's probably something to this.
Totally. Yeah, I'm keen. And from, there's not much gameplay in the first 90 minutes. It's like a 40-minute cutscene and then
It's a lot
some
of
gameplay,
cutscene.
which I'm fine with because it's also beautiful. Like, it's one of the best looking games. I'm playing it on PC, so it's probably a little bit up-resed as well.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it goes, like, it starts with, I guess, still photography of real locations, and then it cuts to what is obviously gameplay, but I was not sure. Like, I was like, is this gameplay or is it still, like, real photos? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also, from the very little of the mechanics, as much as it is awful, like, keeping yourself centered, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this. It does feel like more aggressive Lake. Like, it's totally just delivering mail around a place. So
and you'd be playing it with some like upgrades as well.
Totally,
they've added extra things.
It's sick. I'm keen to play it, but I'm like, the next time I play it, I want 5 hours. Like, I don't want half an hour or something. I'm like, I want to attack and get a bit out of this game. So that'll be.
You want to see Conan O'Brien.
I want to see Conan. I want to see his floppy hair.
That's great.
Yeah. Keen to get more out of it, and I'm glad it's actually fun. Glad it's actually cool.
Yeah. I enjoyed and embraced the weirdness. I was all in.
Yeah. Keen to talk about it when it's over. And I think I was like, if Star Wars is in August, I'm like, that's enough time to play this. And also, if the new one is probably like this time next year or something, I'm like, I need a year and a bit away from this.
It's a good break to have between strandings.
Yeah, Strand Tab games. Good fun.
Nice.
Are we wrecked out?
I think we're wrecked out, yeah.
And we're potted out, I guess. Thank you, everyone, for jumping back in and accepting us. It's a very strange thing with these things because it's like, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't listen. Maybe they're just like, why would we listen to you now?
Yeah,
it's been so long.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun to be back in here. We're back weekly. We wanted to record one. There may be less of a distance between this and the next, but we just had things we want to talk about and to hang out. So that's why we're here.
It's good. It's a good time.
Yeah. We don't even have to tell you to subscribe because there's nothing here. Like, it's not like follow, share it to your friends. This is just for you.
Yeah. This is just for the peeps. It's mostly for us.
Yeah.
We can catch up.
Yeah. He says it right there. Catch up. With Will and Josh. We're catching up.
Very good.
So we're doing.
Good. For some reason, now I'm looking at the font of Catch Up. It makes me think of like ketchup, like sauce.
It does totally look like a brand. Yeah. I'll change it to
totally.
Is ketchup with a K? Or is that just the Simpsons?
Yeah, I think it's ketchup.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We should rebrand. Make things easier.
It's the source of your information.
Hey, God, 70 podcasts and we hadn't said that once. That's crazy. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you we'll see ya. Until next time.
That's right.
I've been Will.
And I've been Josh.
See everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Bye.